You've reached it. You've reached the high point of the semester. You've reached your persuasive speech. Before you begin it, let's review a couple items and make sure you're on the right track to get the best grade possible. To be persuasive, we must be believable. To be believable, we must be credible. To be credible, we must be truthful. This is very important to remember as we're going into the persuasive speech, because persuasion isn't just about having a smile or dressing the right way. Persuasion is being credible. It's being believable and it's being truthful, which will help guide you ethically, and it will also guide you to be a better persuasive speaker. I want to talk a lot about a hero's journey today because in many ways, you're at the top of it. You are absolutely taking that last step. And that last step is going to include, what is your persuasive speech? Let's take a look at the rubric that you'll be graded on, and let's remember some of the lessons we've learned so far. What does this speech mean for you? It's your time to shine. It is truly your time to take all this knowledge that we have gathered throughout the semester and put it to work, put it to use, and show off. It's your time to get out there and show me what you've done and what you've learned this semester. It's going to be important for your grade. This has the biggest point total of any speech during the semester. And it really does. After you overcome this, you're looking at an easy rest of the semester. We have another speech, but in all honesty, your special occasion speech, I want you to have fun with, and I want you to enjoy. So let's get through this persuasive speech so we can set up the rest of the semester for you. Here's our rubric. As you notice, a lot of things have remained the same from previously. We still have to have that attention getter. We still need to have that central thesis or purpose. In this case, your purpose is going to be something as clear as I want to persuade my audience to. I want to convince them. I want to have them. All of these will set you up for that. Justification. This comes again from your audience analysis. You're looking back and saying, why am I up here speaking? What exactly am I blessing my audience with? What am I giving to them? And why is it important to them? Credibility. Credibility is very important whenever you're doing a persuasive speech or when you're trying to persuade people. If they do not see you as credible, they're not going to do what you ask them to do. So credibility, take the time to give yourself a boost, to speak a little bit about yourself and be positive. And then you are going to give a preview. It's not going to be an over preview, because what you really want to do with this preview is just say, and you're going to start sharing with your audience, I want to take you on this journey to tell you about, and then outline for them. Here, we're going to jump right into Monroe's motivated sequence, because the first thing we need to do with our audience is create a need. Remember, this is going to be an emotional thing for them. You can take your audience down emotionally a little bit with this, but remember when we're talking about our ethics and whenever we're talking about the speech earlier, you don't want to take them too low. But emotion is the most persuasive tool between ethos, pathos, and logos. So you can use emotion here. Make sure that they feel they need something, because if they don't need something, they're not going to buy from you. They're not going to be persuaded by you. Satisfaction. This is bringing them back up. And you can do this emotionally as well. Give them a good satisfaction, a solution to their problem. By giving this solution to their problem, they're going to rise up and feel better. Visualization is taking them even higher on that plateau, because they're now not only seeing the satisfaction, but they're seeing the wonderful doors that it opens, where it leads them, and how it will make their lives better. We're going to use supporting material, because credibility throughout your speech is going to be important. So you need to have 3 credible sources in this speech. With those 3 credible sources, your audience will then feel that your ethos is better, your credibility is higher, and they're more likely to do what you say. Remember the crap test, remember all that we've discussed, because your supporting material needs to be strong. and then transition. Not ands, us, not filler words. So instead, what I want you to look at is getting those smooth transitions so you can move your audience, you can give them the signposts. First, let's talk about. Second, let's talk about. Now that we develop the need, let's look at a satisfaction. Let's look at a solution. Now that you have the solution, visualize this. As you can see, I'm signposting it, making it easy for the audience to come along. Finally, you're going to do a short review. And part of the reason why you do this is because what you're reaffirming with them is where you've taken them, and now you can give them the action call. And I do need you to have a solid action, not just, now I hope next time you think of this. That's not an action. What I need is for you to say, now go to this page and pledge, sign this petition, raise your hands if you promise next time you get in the car you will not text and drive. Get your audience to commit in some way that is a solid action. By doing so, they don't have to guess what they can do, because you took them on this emotional ride. You gave them a need, you satisfied it, which was nice, and you got them to visualize it, but don't leave them hanging. They need to know exactly where they need to move next, so that way they can get that full circle, then bring it all together with your ending clincher. Make it so that you just stop with it. Don't say, and that's my speech, thank you. That sucks the energy out of it. So hit your clincher. Your next slide most likely is going to be what? It'll most likely be your references. You just flash that up there. You don't need to say, and here's my references. Just that, and then you can fade out from there. We're going to still really focus on delivery. Eye contact. I know a lot of this is eye contact with the camera. Remember, though, when you start giving speeches in classes or in offices in front of groups, look for those 6 people throughout the audience that you can make good eye contact with that will help your eye contact. It's hard to practice when we're doing it virtually and when we're doing this online, but think about it. For this one, your eye contact's still going to be that camera. Next, use your voice. Use it effectively. Don't just go running throughout your speech because your speech is what you want to get through. No. Remember to breathe. Remember the dramatic pauses. Remember the tone. Remember the rhythm. Remember your pacing. And utilize your voice as a tool. Next, speak extemporaneously, especially in persuasion. Persuasion, we've mentioned this a few times, we like people who are like us and who we like. So when you get all that liking in there, that comes through extemporaneous speaking, because you're having a conversation, not speaking at them, you're speaking with them. And that bond with the audience makes you much more persuasive. Body language. I'll need to see your upper torso on this speech, because if I don't, I will not be able to grade your body language. I need gesturings. I need bigger gesturings. Not the T-Rex arms, not the closed posture. Open up. Allow your audience to embrace you, basically, because if you close up, your audience gets turned off and they don't connect with you. So allow them to connect with you by having an open stance, open posture, big gestures. It really does help. One thing, I do want you standing up, because this is what I notice whenever people are sitting down presenting. We all got the nice swivel chairs. And when we get nervous, what do? We swivel in our chairs. And this becomes a distraction for you. So make sure you're standing up so you can deliver your speech well. Once again, your professional appearance based off of your audience analysis. If you're trying to be persuasive about something about farming or ecology, or perhaps about visiting somewhere up in the mountains, you're going to have different types of clothing than if you're going to be trying to be persuasive, talking to a business about buying a new product. So look at your audience analysis, decide what your professional apparel should look like, and go from there. The speech is going to be 6 to 7 minutes. Now, you're going to use some supporting material. If you didn't use it in your last speech, use it in this one. You'll have the option of using it in both if you want. But what I want to be able to see is that you can put together a PowerPoint or similar visual aid. Make sure it is enhancing your speech, not taking from it. Use it well. Don't overwhelm. Remember that the 7x7 rule and all the other things we've gone over. And turn in your outline. I need your full sentence outline because if you miss a part, I like being able to look at your full sentence outline. Plus, this makes sure that you did do rough draft, full sentence outline, keyword outline. Because by having those 3 steps, your speech and your ability to persuade people would be much stronger. Remember what we've learned this semester. We've gone through so much. You've learned so much. I have seen so much growth in your speeches that I want to see that continue. I've come back to the hero's journey. Why? Because this is your abyss. This is your cave. This is your journey into fight the monster. So, as you're going into that cave to fight the monster, remember your foundation. Remember the things you've learned and the skills you have built. Nail the introduction and the conclusion. I see this too often in speeches. Students start off weak. They don't know their introduction, so it's kind of clunky, and that's where the so if the filler words come in. But then they get to the body of their speech and they feel confident about it because that's their knowledge. And the filler words go away and the body language opens up. The sad thing is that that's really kind of a rough journey for you. If you start off strong, maintaining that strength and finishing strong really is the best persuasion. Because once after people enter or exit out of the body of the speech, I start seeing those filler words again. And they don't know how to hit that clincher. So practice those 2 bookends to deliver your best speech. And breathe. I know it's hard not to get excited, but take a moment. Take a breath. That's better than a filler word. If you find yourself getting off track, you feel like, oh no, things are going bad, take that breath and reassure yourself and get back in there. Don't stop, but take that breath. Because oftentimes, if we just force ourselves to go through the stumbling and the fumbling and the filler words, we crash. And I don't want you to do that. So when you start feeling yourself losing your footing a little bit, regain that footing, take that breath, and pick up where you are. You can do this. You are good at public speaking, and I'm looking forward to seeing your best. What we wanted to cover is this important part of your hero's journey. You're going to go slay the monster now. So we need to talk about what our persuasive speech is. We need to discuss the rubric, and we need to remember the lessons that we've covered so far. The cave you fear to enter holds the treasure that you seek. This is true. So I will see you in that cave. You're going to do great. I know you're going to nail this persuasive speech. Take time, take breath, and go on in there.